So today we're going to do something we've been asked to do, mostly because there's a lot of people that are going to these restaurants and dropping like 30 to 50 bucks on a plate of these things. I had a blind date that I went up and got set up on. She wanted to do fajitas, and it cost me $70 for 2 people to eat fajitas. And I like mentioning it in front of my father to watch him explode about how a chicken doesn't have a skirt steak on it, but we'll get to that later. Before we start, go ahead and be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the internet-y things. Be sure to ring the little bell, get notifications. And if you need the recipe for this, again, it's always going to be down in the description, so you can look at exactly everything we got. And let's get into it. So we got a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But just to make fajitas, this is just what you need. You're going to need the meat, at least a pound of that, this fajita mix, and some tortillas. That's it. That's really all you need.
Everything else is optional.
The onions and the bell peppers are optional. You can throw those in. And the rest of this is for the guacamoles. The guacamole. Right? You're going to need avocados. Obviously, darker and squishy is good. Some cilantro, onion, lime juice. Thing of tomatoes, or a couple of diced tomatoes you want to do it yourself. A little bit of garlic. And jalapenos if you want it spicy. We only use like half of one at the most. So you start off, get your big skillet, get it up to heat, and add, I think it was like a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons is what they said. We're just trying to cover it. This is the big skillet.
Very big.
So we ended up using 2, just trying to make sure it covers it. There'll be a lot more grease from all the other stuff anyway. And you gotta add water later, so it's not that big a deal. So take your meats, don't cut it yet. We do this like we're doing it on the grill. We cut it later.
Leave it as one whole piece.
Right. And just go ahead. You can slice it, I guess, if you want, but I always enjoy cutting it later. Now, if you got your bell peppers already done or frozen, you don't need to do them. We got our onions, so we're going to go ahead and slice those up. Slice them up. Long and skinny is best for fajitas, I've found, because they fit into the tortilla easier and they look good. So we just slice those, set them off to the side. Bell peppers, if you need to do those as well. Now, go ahead and start on the guacamole. Now, I'll show you how to get this thing out. Just go ahead and spin your knife all the way around, try to make it one line. Twist it, and then get you a spoon, scrape it out, make sure to run it across that skin, get all that junk out. Now to get that seed, it's super easy. Just take your knife, hack it in there, it'll pull it off.
Don't cut yourself.
Yeah. If your knife is too sharp, put it on a counter when you do that. Be sure to get the extra guacamole off the seed and all that kind of stuff. And make sure you put 2 or 3 of those in there. Yeah. Teaspoon of salt. We use sea salt straight up for that. And lime juice is just 1 lime needs to be juiced, or a full tablespoon as well, or a tablespoon and a half is what we use.
I think you can add more if you like lime juice, but
Right.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, you probably can, and it helps it keep it from turning brown when it's sitting out while you're doing whatever.
True enough.
So I just did 1 and a half, and then you mash this up. Now you can use a fork, spoon, your hands. Just get in there, go to punching. You know, aquadides if you want.
Hindsight, spoon probably didn't help all that much.
So, I mean, we took it and cut it up a little bit, and then got smart and got one of them potato mashers. That's
Yeah, you'll see that later, I believe.
Yeah. So, like I said, you can chop it down, smash it. Now, be sure to keep an eye on your meat. Make sure it's turning. Make sure it's not bleeding. But once it starts turning brown, we'll deal with it. So if it's browning on one side, go ahead and flip it like this one. Doing pretty good, so we went ahead and pulled it over. But you can kind of see where there's blood and stuff on this side. So just go ahead and flip it over. Let it start to brown on that side. Now you want to cook it almost all the way through because you're going to have to put it back in. So I do that. I think it was like a 1/6 of an avocado or something really bizarre per onion. Or I was like, I don't know.
Some
I'm just going to use
ratio.
just this last piece of onion here. I was really worried that it was going to be too much onion. So I try to chop down as much of it as I can and only use just a little bit. Now, here's where we got tired. I said, screw it. We're getting a potato masher. And it works wonders. Like,
really
I don't
did.
know if this is something that everybody does. We just didn't know about it. We're slow. The first time making the guacamole, it works really well. Just threw all that onion right on top of it. Chopped up the cilantro. It was about a third of our bushel there.
Yeah.
Get your can of tomatoes. 1 spoon worth of garlic, but I had to get in there twice since we're getting low on that. And then mash it all together.
At first, it didn't look like guacamole, but once you start mixing it, it really changes.
It's actual guacamole. Like, it's not like super smooth, super blended stuff, but this was really good. That was my favorite part. Now, once this is starting to brown really good, there you go. So you can go ahead and pull it off once it's browning. Now, leave all the grease and the oil and stuff still in there. You're just going to throw your onions and stuff right on top of it. Just boom, right in top. The bell peppers, more the merrier. It's up to you.
All
and the colors and the flavors.
More onion.
We had some onion left over from the guacamole stuff. And threw some cilantro. Cilantro is completely optional. Doesn't need to do it, but we didn't want to just sit in the fridge and have it go brown on us.
Yeah, we had it. We needed to use it.
So we went ahead and threw it in. Couldn't hurt, right? Just let it brown around. Let your onion start breaking down, kind of caramelize, getting a little brownish, right? It's going to take a little while. I think 10 minutes at the most, because you don't want to turn it up too high. You don't want it to wilt everything else, but give it a little wiggle. And be sure to be careful when you grab the skillet. It's hot. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, don't touch cast iron, man. It's hot. It's hot.
No. So I took it and piled it up in the middle there. They got all warm, so then I made a gap in the middle, and that's where I put meat in. Now, most places, when you do fajitas like on a grill, you take that stuff out and you spice it and then you cook it. This one, you add water and then add the powder on top of it and let it boil on there too. So go ahead and put that in there. You can sprinkle it all the way around instead of just pouring it right in the middle.
I think that's what I would have done, is sprinkle it.
Well, I tried it. Just kind of pour it all out at once. So, like I said, just make sure to get it in there, let it boil down, let the meat finish cooking in there just as much as you want it done. Mm-hmm. And make sure to spread it around. Make sure to get that seasoning on everything. If you don't, you can use more than one packet, like when you're using ramens, if you want to double up on the packet and steal one out of these
If you love your seasoning, you can double up. But your seasoning will get strong if you do that.
Nothing wrong with that. Everybody loves cumin. So just let it sit there and boil it, cook on that, simmer in it at least 5 minutes, and you're set. Now, like I said, when we do it on the grill, you pull it off and cut it when it's done.
Yeah.
So most everybody else says don't do that when you're doing it here. Go ahead and slice it. We went ahead and did it old school, right? So we let it cook for 3 minutes. Like I was saying a minute ago, so did 3 minutes, let it simmer, and then pull it out. Now, once it's nice and brown, it's all cooked, is what you're looking at. You want to go ahead and turn it off, pull it out. Now, Jack, come over here. He's a grill guy. I wanted to
he cut it in half and spin it around and cut against the grain, I believe. Now, when you do it like this, it comes out really soft and tender.
Well, I guess it just pulls apart when you get the grain. I think you take a bite, it didn't pull the whole thing out of the tortilla.
Yeah, that too.
Would be my guess. But
the thin pieces or wider, it's up to you. That's all personal choice.
Now, we're going to show you a quick, plating thing. You get your tortilla, heat it up on the stove, throw it on there. All right, we use flour because we're white. Can't use corn for nothing.
Corn tortillas are too small. I can't deal with that.
So you can put whatever you want in here. Like I prefer sour cream. Jack puts salsa on stuff. We made the guacamole. You can eat chips in the side and stuff, or fresh jalapeno, pico, whatever you can. But we cut down the price. So our guacamole and our fajita meat kind of took up all of our budget this time.
That was the budget.
Yeah. So the easiest way to do this, magic trick.
Ta-da.
So that was it. That took all of our $10 budget, though. But that's not worth $75 at a restaurant because nothing we do is that good. But the guacamole turned out really great. We'll revisit that later. But this fed at least 5 of us.
Mm-hmm. It could feed more, too. There's still some in there.
Oh, yeah. There you go. It's one of the nicest things we've made in a long time. The guacamoles are great. We're probably going to do a standalone video just for that later. But this is some good stuff, and it's not $50 or $60 worth of meat, man. This is how you do it. So you can find us on YouTube's all the time, but we upload Tuesdays and Fridays. You can find us on Instagram at Living Between, or on Facebook at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. You also find us on Patreon if you want to help us out there. We very much appreciate it. And we can also find us over on Pinterest. We have some of our recipes over there. Give us a like, a share, a pen. We very much appreciate it. We'll see you next time.